Hi guys, it's Tiffany. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is very exciting. I am going to be recreating Madison Beer's Vogue makeup tutorial. I have been meaning to make this video for a while, but I actually bought a lot of these products like sporadically, so I haven't been able to make it until now. Also, a side note, I know I haven't been uploading. That's because it is finally the end of my school semester, so I'm like finishing up projects and just papers, essays, all that good stuff. And so yeah, nothing too crazy today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell to join my little family. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so Madison, she doesn't use primer, I don't think. I think she just goes straight in right after her skincare, but I've already done my skincare. But I am actually gonna prime today with my Laneige Glowy Makeup Serum. I actually really love this. At first, I thought it was just a serum to kind of like make your skin dewy and glowy, but I find that it actually kind of smooths my skin out, so it makes my makeup go on really nicely, and it also makes my makeup last pretty long. Okay, so for foundation, Madison Beer goes in with the Glossier skin tint. I am in the shade G8. I really like the skin tint because it's very natural, minimal. It has like almost no coverage, so I know some people don't really like this product because they don't really see a purpose in it. For those who like natural makeup, this is perfect because it provides somewhat of coverage, but it still like lets your natural skin peek through. And it's also a really glowy skin tint, like super glowy. So for concealer, she goes in with the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, and she uses two. One to like spot conceal and then one to actually brighten. I only have two because one of them is my old one and one of them is a new one because my old one was getting kind of dry and I think I used it up already. This one is in the shade Cafe Au Lait, and my new one I picked up is in the shade Canelle. This one's a little too light and this one's not, so I'm gonna mix these two. So I'm first gonna go in with Canelle under my eyes and just like where I would normally put concealer. And then I'm gonna go in with Cafe Au Lait. I'm gonna use this to just brighten a little bit because it's a little bit lighter. I feel like in the camera you can't tell, but they are different. Also, can I just mention how much I've been loving this sponge? This is the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. And it's funny because when I first tried out the sponge, in my first impressions of it, like way back, I actually didn't like it. I thought the pores in it was too big and I felt like it didn't really do anything for my makeup. And at that time, the only sponge I had used was my Real Techniques one. But then I kind of like went through a phase of like trying other sponges from other brands, like Milani, different e.l.f. sponges, Morphe. So I broke away from my Real Techniques for a while. And then I just wasn't really liking any sponge anymore, so I picked up a new Real Techniques one, but then it's a lot harder than I remember. So now I like am crazy about this e.l.f. Total Face Sponge because this one's actually the softest and bounciest sponge that I own. Who would have thought, right? I don't know why, but my opinion on things change all the time. So it always makes me second guess on whether or not I actually really like dislike a product. But yeah, I love the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. So bouncy and soft. I believe she goes in with the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand next. I am in the shade Fair Medium. So I like these wands. The only thing I don't like is that there's like barely any product in here. Like I literally just bought this product not too long ago and look at how much like I can squeeze. Like this whole part is empty. Not the biggest fan of that, especially considering how expensive these are. You would think that they'd be a little bit more full. I'm just gonna do a little contouring of my own. Madison doesn't do this, but I really like this contouring one for my nose. And then I'm just gonna use a stippling brush because I feel like a sponge kind of takes away too much product because these beauty wands are really liquidy and creamy, so I don't want to take away from any pigment. When I usually go in with a sponge on them, it usually takes away like all the pigment. So, and then Madison Beer goes in with another beauty wand. This is the highlight wand in the shade Peachgasm. Madison uses Pinkgasm, but that shade is always sold out. I had to just get the Peachgasm one, which is a really pretty like peachy pinky color, and she uses this as a blush, so I'm just gonna use this as a blush as well. I can tell Madison really likes her blush to look really like shimmery and shiny, because this is pretty much like a highlight wand with a tint to it. So there is the blush. It's like really like glowy, like super glowy. So, and then for brows, she does soap brows with like a soap product, but I'm just gonna go in with my ABH brow freeze because this is what works for me. Soap, it just gets a little too like messy and sticky for me. I really like my ABH brow freeze. It's just what works for me. And I do not have the best brows for soap brows. I would love to have good eyebrows for soap brows, but this is what we will do for now. My right eyebrow does pretty good with like soap brows because my right brow grows up naturally, but my left brow grows down really bad. So this one is always really stubborn and I can never get it to stay up. But the ABH brow freeze is like one of the only things that can get it to stay up, which is shocking. I don't know how they made this product so good. But they did. She sets her face with the Charlotte Tilbury setting powder. I am in the shade 1 Fair, so I'm going to set my face with this. This is a really good powder. This is my favorite powder ever. In the video, Madison actually, I think, has hit pan on this. And I don't blame her because this is a really nice powder. Now for powder bronzer, she goes in with the Fenty Beauty one. I am in the shade Island Ting. And the Fenty bronzers are really good. I will admit they are super good. I just really like the cream bronzer a little bit more, but this powder one is really good too. And then Madison uses this to contour her nose, so I'm gonna do the same thing and use just a little bit to contour my nose. And then for blush, this is like what everybody's talking about. She uses the Fenty Beauty Killawatt highlighter in the shade Ginger Binge in Moscow Mule as a blush. So that's pretty interesting because this is a highlighting product, not a blush. But I tested it out a few days ago and I'm actually in love with this as a blush. So my word of advice is if you like a glowy blush, this will be perfect for you because this is super glowy and super pigmented, so you only need a little bit. But yeah, it's such a pretty blush. Like, look at, I look so glowy and rosy. I think it's a really nice blush. And the shade Moscow Mule does have like glitter in it, so if you don't like specks of glitter on your face, I think the shade Ginger Binge, which is this one, is perfect. It just has a really nice sheen, absolutely no glitter. The glitter is only in Moscow Mule. So yeah, I actually really like this as a blush. I was a little scared at first, but it's really good. So yeah, who would have thought a highlighter as a blush? Despite how glowy we are, Madison still goes in with more highlight. So she goes in with the beauty wand from Charlotte Tilbury. This is in the shade Spotlight, and I'm just gonna dab a little bit on and use my sponge to blend this out. And then she uses the Glossier Play highlighter, but they don't make that anymore. So I'm just gonna go with my Rare Beauty one. It's like pretty much the same thing. It's just a liquid highlighter. So I'm just gonna dab a little bit on my cheeks. She really loves glowy. Can I just say, like, I am very luminous and glowy. Okay, and then Madison Beer goes in with her palette for collaboration with Morphe, which I really like this palette. If you guys have watched my everyday makeup routine, this is the palette that I use every day. It is my new favorite palette. I haven't been this addicted to a palette since my Tartelette in Bloom. I think this is one of the prettiest palettes Morphe has ever come out with before, because a lot of them tend to just look really repetitive, just super bright colors. So this is a really nice, natural, neutral, everyday palette that still gives you enough color and variety to do different looks. So anyways, Madison goes in with this color and this color, I believe. She uses that as her transition color with a big fluffy brush, so I'm just gonna do the same thing. And then she goes into this shade right here and she kind of just taps that on her lid, just kind of keep it bright. I think this kind of creates the illusion that your eyes are like deeper, if that makes sense. But it doesn't really make a difference for me because I have Asian eyelids. Okay, anyways, then she goes into this shade right here and she does an eyeshadowing. And then she also does a like inner corner, but I like suck at doing that. And I don't think personally it matches me or my eye shape, but we are doing it for Madison. So I attempted it. It looks horrible in my opinion. I just don't really match this whole like fox eye thing. And then for her inner corner highlight, she goes in with this one, which I also use to highlight my inner corner. It is such a pretty shade, and Madison highlights like down here rather than the inner corner because that's where she does her little like wing. So I'm gonna do that too and highlight the bottom of my eye. So that is what she does. Then for mascara, she goes in with the Glossier Lash Slick. She says this gives her the effect of like false eyelashes or like lash extensions, I mean. And I can see where she gets that because I do think that this is a very natural mascara where it makes you look like you have lash extensions, but it only makes you look like you have lash extensions if you already have naturally long lashes. I sadly do not, but for having really weak lashes, the Lash Slick does a great job at lengthening. So for lips, she lines her lips with a Charlotte Tilbury lip liner, and she says it's like her lip shade, and she overlines, and she says she can get away with it because the lip liner is like her lip color. But for me, I really like the KKW Beauty liners, and this is in the shade Nude 1.5, which is like perfect for me. So I'm just gonna go in with this today. I didn't want to spend so much money on a lip liner if I have one that already works for me. And I swear by the KKW Beauty liners because they are very long lasting. Like, I usually wear this every day. This is my everyday liner. And I'll usually put like a clear gloss over this. And then throughout the day when I'm eating, drinking, my lip gloss is gone, but my liner is still there. So this is a super long wearing liner. I really enjoy all of Kim's lip products. So then last but not least, Madison Beer goes in with the Also Beauty Juice Infused Lip Oil. I have mine in the Jojoba, and peach. They have different flavors. I also have the cranberry one, which is like a tinted pinkish red, but I think Madison uses this one, so yeah. I really love these lip oils because they're so shiny. Like, look at, these are shinier than some glosses I have. So this is up there with one of like my most reflective, shiniest lip glosses or lip oils. Because if you guys have been on my channel for a while, you guys know that I really enjoy a lip product when it's super shiny and reflective like this. And this is so comfortable, smells amazing, and just feels amazing on the lips. So really good lip gloss. Definitely understand why I went viral on TikTok because it's that good. Just have to fix my brow constantly because this one always falls down. My right one is pretty good at staying up, but my left one, it's wonky. And then Madison's last step is to put in gold hoops, but I always wear gold hoops in like all of my videos. So I put in my really big ones today, and I also styled my hair differently today. I'm gonna get curtain bangs soon and like lots of layers, so I'm really excited for that. But yeah, this is the final look of Madison's tutorial. I think I look so bad and bougie. I feel like this is like a toned down version of the Instagram makeup because it has that look going, but it's a little bit more toned down and like very natural and pretty. So yeah, I actually really like how she does her makeup. It's really pretty. My favorite part about Madison's makeup routine would definitely have to be the Fenty highlighter as the blush. This has been life-changing for me. And the juice infused lip oil. This stuff is amazing, super shiny and reflective, comfortable, just like love it. And I just want to give a shout out to her palette because this is such a pretty palette. I cannot stop talking about it. I cannot stop using it. It's just so good. It has like all the colors I need. But yeah, guys, this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one.